Right now, why not bring this guy in? He writes his column for the Marina Times, the Coastal Commuter. He writes about music. He writes about theater. He writes about movies. He's one of the most sophisticated and at the same time down-to-earth people I know. And massive Giants fan. It was a rough day yesterday for us. Wow. But he comes to us on a wave of sunshine, a rainbow. Yeah. Michael Snyder, everyone.
Hey, Michael. Hi. I'm trying to keep it together, Mark. I'm trying to keep it together, Brett. Albert, I'm trying to keep it together. Yesterday's Giants game almost sucked the soul out of me. But you know what? It's autumn. Autumn's here. It's my favorite season. It's the thinking and wistful and brooding person's season, I think. I love autumn. And I even wrote a little ode to autumn in my Coastal Commuter column, currently available at marinatimes.com for anyone curious. But, this also means the beginning of the new fall TV season and the Emmy Awards this past weekend.
Did you watch the Emmys?
Look, if my name was Emmy, I'd be laying low right now, I'll tell you that. It was hard to quibble with many of the awards. Typical self-congratulatory wank fest, but I so love Mayor of Easttown, The Queen's Gambit, and Ted Lasso. I kind of want to give it a pass. Yeah. But, man, it was an unfunny slog. The lack of true wit and laughs in the entirety of the event. The sketches were terrible. That barely perfunctory Emmy losers support group sketch, it seemed like the work of the Algonquin Roundtable compared to the rest of the show.
No, you're right. That was a bad sketch, and it was better than any other sketch in the show.
Now, he could be very funny in his own world.
Cedric, you're talking about.
But I got to say, if you went purely by the Emmy Awards, you would think there has never been a more misnamed comedian than Cedric the Entertainer. I wasn't.
I love Cedric, and you're right, he's so funny. But they should have just let Cedric be Cedric on the, with some stand-up and just host the show instead of they had all those bits and everything. Oh, yeah, that was the Hannah. Remember Hannah who won for Lasso? That's what she reaction.
Oh, my God.
Where she screamed like that? Yeah. All right. That's enough. Thank you.
Scream is right. Oh, my God. Anyway, look, let's go to the movies. What do you say?
Please. We buried the Emmys, by the way, on Monday morning. So you're dancing on their grave on this show.
Well, it's a rumba. Anyway, there's something truly unforgiving about the camera's eye. You know what I'm saying? Even more so in the era of high def. So this works against the movie adaptation of the hit stage musical Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, yeah.
The original Broadway cast lead, Ben Platt, who, by the way, Tony, Grammy, and Emmy winner, lovely emotive singing voice, a really good actor. He reprises his role as the clinically depressed teenager Evan Hansen on screen, and Platt, as is evident in many close-ups, is no teenager. And for that matter, most of, if not all, the young actors playing Evan's classmates in the movie probably graduated high school a number of years ago. All that said, the story concerns this high schooler, Evan Hansen, who's a nerdy loner on antidepressants and craves connection, but's too shy to do anything about it. So his single mom, played by no less than Julianne Moore, is so busy at her hospital job, Evan is left to wallow. And so his therapist suggests that he write about his feelings in a letter to himself. And, of course, a particularly downbeat letter gets into the hands of an angry, self-destructive classmate, the brother of a girl Evan likes, and a resulting tragedy, a few misunderstandings, and the internet throw Evan's life and the lives of everyone around him into chaos. Amy Adams is also in the cast as the mother of the aforementioned brother and sister. The songs by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul they're complex and kind of astute lyrically. Everyone brings their A game, and the mental health message laid out by the movie is incredibly important and worthwhile, but I can't help thinking Dear Evan Hansen should have remained a stage sensation where the broad strokes and the age of its talented lead.
Big stage show.
They wouldn't be so magnified on stage. They would fit. And maybe they should have gone with a younger cast. By the way, directed by Steven Chbosky, who also directed the more effective teen angst film, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, based on his own novel, Dear Evan Hansen, in theaters.
Don't they, Dear Evan Hansen, though, they at the end, it's a happy ending where they come up. Don't they do that M-Bop song, the Hansen?
Hansons! Oh, my God, please.
Oh, no, that's not it?
No, that's... Guess what? You're not going to believe this.
Oh, you're telling me that's not in the movie?
I'm dancing on Evan Hansen's grave right now.
Oh, no. That's a different Hanson, I guess. All right.
Hanson.
I'm
All right.
sorry.
Well, seriously. Guess what? Another musical about a teenager with problems this week. And actually, it's been these things they're popping up like mushrooms.
Great, yeah.
Are you ready? Everybody's talking about Jamie. Lovable, feel good, super woke. It's an original musical. And by the way, 2 original musicals. Hear that? Recent remake of Cinderella. Original musicals, not jukebox musicals. Anyway, this is about an adolescent, gay 16-year-old boy in the industrial town of Sheffield, England, who aspires to be a drag queen. It's his dream, and he thinks that a career on stage is his calling. Alas, his school career counselor thinks it's ridiculous. His father has virtually disowned him, but his now single mom supports him, as does his best friend, a brainy Muslim girl who aspires to be a doctor. Ridiculed by his classmates at the local high school, Jamie, played by a newcomer, Max Harwood, played to a fare thee well here. He will not be denied. He will not be deterred. In fact, he plans to attend prom in drag and goes to a local clothes shop catering to a certain clientele and run by an aging drag queen played by the ever-fantastic Richard E. Grant. Brett, do you have a question?
Is it based on a true story?
Yes, it's based on a true story.
How about that? Very well done.
To be precise, the movie is based on a London musical, which was based on a BBC documentary about the real Jamie, as directed by Jonathan Butterell. The musical numbers are sparkly and fabulous, and the tunes themselves are reasonably catchy.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do, and I'll bet it can be hard work. You know what's easy? Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowner's or renter's insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around your home. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com.
And as corny and schmaltzy as it can get, Jamie's story is uplifting. It's in theaters and streaming on Amazon. Everybody's talking about Jamie. And I've been humming the title tune inadvertently, catching myself. I've been earwormed, baby.
Oh, you liked it. Okay.
I did.
What else do you have?
I'm Your Man. It took a few minutes, but I fell for the new German rom-com, I'm Your Man, which has nothing to do with the great Leonard Cohen song of the same name, in this bright and droll exploration of humanity and relationships set in the nearish future. Marine Eggert plays Alma, an archaeological researcher, and she needs funding for a big project, so she reluctantly agrees to be a test subject in a study by a company that's building lifelike robotic companions for people who, for any number of reasons, have been unable to find a suitable romantic mate. So in return, one presumes she's going to get the grant money she needs to continue her work. So using research into potential clients, the robots are designed and programmed to be ideal partners. It's a bit Westworld, I guess, but in fact, the plot reminded me of the 1987 sci-fi rom-com Making Mr. Right with John Malkovich and Ann Magnuson.
No, I never saw that. Was that good?
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. That's a digression. As Alma's customized Mecha Man Tom interacts with her, his AI starts to evolve. And so this leads to a bunch of interesting ethical questions that have been asked in other forums. But I'm Your Man, directed and co-written by Maria Schrader, has a kind of verve and sweetness to it that slowly seduces you. And in a bit of a surprise, Tom, the Mensch machine, as Kraftwerk would describe him, is played by Dan Stevens of Downton Abbey and Legion. And the guy speaks perfect German, albeit with an English accent. Anyway, his performance and his rapport with Eggert's Alma are first rate. He impressed the hell out of me, and I've totally enjoyed his other work, too. I'm Your Man is smart, tender, and provocative. I give it 4 batteries up in my new robot movie system.
And this is in German, though.
Yeah, it's in German with subtitles, but get over it, Mark. It's in theaters.
All right.
It was great. I loved it.
Okay, all right.
You
have time for one more.
All right. Get ready. I didn't have a chance.
Come on, you did the Clint Eastwood movie?
I'll do it. I didn't have a chance to see the latest Clint Eastwood movie, Cry Macho, before it opened in theaters and debuted on HBO Max
you have seen
last
it now.
Friday.
Okay. Right.
So I didn't review it then, but I have seen it since. Old Clint, who directed, by the way, plays a former rodeo rider on the skids in 1979, and this guy is hired to bring a kid back home to Texas from Mexico. So there are bumps on the journey. The dissolute horseman rediscovers the goodness inside him, etc. The movie plods like a horse that's on its last legs, with no slight intended toward Clint, really. No. It has a certain similarity to the relationship and the journey in the Tom Hanks movie, The News of the World, which was set in the 1800s.
Oh, yeah, sure. I like that.
That was a much better movie. And by the way, you know how Dirty Harry was the title of the movie and the name of Clint's character?
Yeah.
Well, Cry Macho is not the name of Clint's character in the movie. It's Mike Milo. No one calls him Cry or Mr. Macho.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, it was 2 hours long, and when I was done watching it, I thought, do you feel lucky, punk? And I responded, lucky that it's finally over? Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think you should apologize for how you feel.
You really, really didn't like this.
Cry Macho is available in theaters and on HBO Max. I guess that's
Does he get into a gunslinging thing with anybody?
No, spoilers.
Okay, all right. So let's review. You love the ones you loved. I'm Your Man, you thought was pretty good.
I did.
Rom-com German about AI and the robot lover.
Yeah, humanity, relationships.
I love that. I'd like to go out with an AI lover who's German.
Well, that would be so good. No?
Yeah, that would be good. Everybody's talking about Jamie. You also liked.
I liked it. Yeah, very much.
About
it's
the
schmaltzy.
teen drag queen, desirous teen. Yeah, right.
It was good. Richard E. Grant. I mean, good God.
Terrific. Amazing.
He's always wonderful.
Yeah. Dear Evan Hansen, even though it's the hottest ticket on Broadway, you said just doesn't make it on the screen.
The performer who plays Evan Hansen, he's a wonderful singer and actor, but he's just too old for the role. The movie... a screen magnifies little things like that, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's it's okay not to like some things. They did the franchise Dear Evan Hansen's amazing. They did very well with it. So, and finally, Cry Macho. I mean the one that I was looking forward to. Clint Eastwood. He's Americana. You said boring, bad.
You cannot say you love your country.
Exactly, Michael Snyder. How dare you come in here and insult?
Mayor of Carmel. How do I swipe at the mayor of Carmel or the mayor pro tem, whatever he was? He was the mayor of Carmel.
How dare you? Anyway.
Mark, when you see it, you won't be crying macho, but you might be crying something else.
All right. He is Michael Snyder. You can read him in the Marina Times. You can also find him there on the corner at the Royal Ground on Polk Street. That's kind of his home away from home. And the Giants, it's our mutual sweat. God, it was horrible yesterday.
Honestly,
the Dodgers. We had our chance. We picked up a game,
right.
And now we've dropped. They won and we lost.
I do want to point one thing out. There's a tradition every year in most teams where the rookies or the first year players have to go through a sort of hazing, and they have to dress up in the same kind of costume. This year, as Brandon Belt has proclaimed himself the captain in jest earlier in the season,
yeah, it was funny.
They got on the plane. He was wearing a captain's uniform, and they were all dressed as swabbies to go to see all the rookies and the first-year guys. Hilarious photo. You can see it online at SF Giants Twitter account.
Yeah, look, it's a great team. They're playing as a team, but we need to hang on to that lead. So, Michael Snyder, thank you. He leaves as he came on a rainbow. Bye-bye, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.